I'm Nikita, founder of Journey from Karma to Dharma. I created this journey based on my own lived experience and decades of self-study. And today I'm going to share my story, not because my story is special, but because it will help you to understand why this journey exists and whether or not it might be for you. Everything that I teach came from lived experience, combined with theory. For a long time, I've lived a life that made sense on the surface. I was creative, capable, respected. I built a business, an entire community, and a reputation. I knew how to work well, I knew how to lead, and I knew how to show up. I also knew how to override myself. And like many women, I learned early on how to read a room, how to adapt, how to carry responsibility. I learned that being useful created safety. And so I strived hard to be productive and make sure that I was always doing in order to feel that I was contributing. And that excellence somehow brought me belonging, but it also brought me loneliness. And that strength that I had ended up bringing out questions in me. Those lessons, they worked, they helped me to survive, but they also quietly shaped an identity that didn't leave much room for anything else. And what most people don't realize is that you can be highly functional and deeply misaligned at the same time. You can build a life that looks good and still feel like you are ahead of yourself or disconnected from your own center. And my body was the first thing that noticed that. Energy began to drain in ways that logic couldn't explain. Illness appeared in my life, not to create drama, but to show me that I needed to slow down and that I needed to listen to my truth, my intuition. And in that slowing down, I started to realize that everything I thought I was, in fact, was simply roles and labels. So this wasn't just a spiritual awakening. This was an uncomfortable individuation, as Carl Jung calls it. It felt disorientating. And there were periods where I didn't even know who I was without being productive, without being the one that's holding everything together. And that's where the real work begins. And this cannot be bypassed. You cannot talk your way out of it. You have to listen to it. And it took me years of studying Eastern philosophy, Vedic traditions, somatic practices, yoga, meditation, mindfulness. And it's through that combination of modalities and teachings that I was able to learn how to regulate my nervous system and heal myself. Because this work does not require surface level. It's about depth. It's about going inwards, about getting to know who you are on a soul level. And now I work with men and women who are also at their edge. They've done everything right. They've been leaders, professionals, creatives. They are parents, maybe even carers, but they haven't put themselves first and they don't know who they are behind those labels. So their identity is now being questioned. And these people sit across the room from me and they say things like, I don't know what's wrong, but I just can't keep living like this. I thought that I've achieved everything that I wanted, but yet somehow I still feel numb. I'm exhausted, but resting simply makes me anxious. I'm scared to stop because I don't know who I'll be without this. And what I began to see again and again was that nothing was wrong with them. They weren't broken, they'd simply outgrown an identity. They were living from their karma, not from their dharma. And that's exactly what I explore in my book, Journey from Karma to Dharma. I describe karma as the identity that we have built to survive. The personality, the beliefs, the behaviors that get reinforced because we feel that we need to stay in this realm of conditioning and of programming. To me, karma is not just spiritual consequence, but it's a pattern memory. So when our life changes and when the soul matures, that's when our awareness expands. And our patterns can start to feel like a cage. But Dharma, on the other hand, is what you become when you let go of those layers of survival. I didn't simply find Dharma by searching for purpose. I arrived at it once I was stripped back by everything that I believed to be true. Obligation, expectation, responsibility, commitment. That's why this work is unique, because it takes people on that journey from karma to dharma. It wasn't designed as a coaching model. It's not simply a framework. It's a complete method of how to live, how to transition. And it's not for everyone. It's for those who are ready to cross that bridge, as I call it, from karma to dharma. And when I was crossing my bridge, it was confusing, it was hard, and very isolating. And that's why now I guide people through that journey. I hold their hand as they cross their own bridge, because I know what it feels like to be at that stage of life where everyone around you seems to be getting on with what they're doing, but inside there's something telling you that you're out of alignment. And this is also the heart of my TEDx talk based on creativity. We think creativity is simply innovation or an art form, but actually to me, creativity is courage. Courage to make creative choices in our lives. And the biggest creative choice we can make is based on who we want to be, our identity. And if we don't update our identity, if we don't evolve our identity, then our creativity collapses into repetition. So yes, you might innovate externally, but if you don't do the work internally, then you will not feel satisfied. True creativity is when you're no longer performing a role, but you become who you're meant to be. And that's what happened to me. And I've watched it happen so many times in others. And that's why I don't promise quick transformations. I don't offer slogans or quick fixes. I simply share my journey in order to help others navigate their journey. Crossing from karma to dharma is not about rebranding your life. It's about asking you to let go of who you thought you were. It's a process of unbecoming and then becoming. And that is a courageous space to stand in. The psychiatrist Carl Jung called this the process of individuation. I call it the bridge from karma to dharma. And everything I now offer, all my teachings, are for people who are in the process of either approaching the threshold of the bridge or are partway through crossing the bridge. So if something in you resonates with this, then this is a sign that you are supposed to be on this journey. I'm not here because I found something special. I'm here because I'm living proof of the identity that can be created once we let go of who we thought we were meant to be. So if you're in between versions of yourself, then this space is for you. Continue to follow my channel, and if you feel ready for the next step, reach out for a call with me. I offer a 9-month Dharma diploma program. It's for those who are ready to cross that bridge from karma to dharma. It's deep inner work, shadow integration, self-love, manifestation. I equip you with spiritual tools. This is the foundation of how to become who you were always meant to be. Dharma's not a job title. It's not a person. It's not a label. It's a state of being. And it's only through this deep inner work that you can then step into being in that state. Feel free to explore more of my free resources. I have Dharma activations and meditations. I also have podcasts going into more detail about my methodology and framework. These tools are not there to improve you. They're simply invitations for you to listen to your inner guidance. We all have intuition. We just need to learn how to trust it. But if you feel that deep pull, then feel free to reach out. And I will be honored to guide your journey from karma to dharma.